Good evening, fellow Lions of District 20K1. Welcome. Happy New Year to everyone. I am glad that everyone's here to this fireside chat. You know, outside is nice and cold, and just put yourself a fire in front of you and just sit back and listen and enjoy. We do have a couple of housekeeping, okay? Make sure you get yourself a paper and a pen and write down your questions. At the end of the session, we're going to have a question and answer, and we're going to do our best to answer this. Now, don't forget, this is a 1-hour chat. If by any chance we cannot answer all the questions, please, you can email us on the committee. I'm going to go through the members of the committee, and we will try to answer this to the best of our ability. If by any chance, or when you go to our midwinter convention, we will also I will be having a financial seminar, and you can also join us there and you can ask the questions. Okay, so everyone is muted, and at this point, I just want to let you know who is on the finance committee. So this is the Finance Committee. We have myself, Past District Governor Ozzie Torres as the chair, Past District Governor Clarence Higgins as the co-chair, Cabinet Treasurer Sonia Bennett, and these are all Lions, we're all Lions, Cabinet Treasurer Sonia Bennett, Assistant Cabinet Treasurer Joy Shorey, all Lions, Hyacinth Jeffers, Lion Tracy Jones Walker, I'm sorry. Lion Audrey Julian, Lion Ray Boyd Stent. So now I pass over to Lion Jeffers that is going to do now this beautiful PowerPoint that was presented, and it was done by the committee. Okay, so now I turn it over.
Thank you, PDG Ozzie. Good evening, everyone. So we were asked to do a presentation on the responsibilities of the treasurer regarding reports. So just a quick review, some of the responsibilities of the treasurer includes maintaining all financial records of the club, ensuring that LCI, MD20, and district dues are paid in a timely manner. Failure to do so means that the club will not be able to vote at conventions. And it should be noted that invoices are received from LCI and MD20 twice a year, and from the district once a year. The invoices for LCI and MD20 are due in July and January. They come out at the end of June and at the beginning of January. So treasurers should be on the lookout for that. Treasurers are also responsible for sending out club dues invoices, for collecting money, and this is generally done through the secretary, and for issuing receipts, for preparing financial reports for both administrative and activities accounts, which are the two accounts that Lions clubs are requested to maintain. They also have to get board approval for making payments, prepare bank reconciliations, and order club supplies. Club supplies can also be ordered by individuals who use their own debit or credit card. It is recommended that the treasurer submit a financial report monthly to the club so that the club knows what is going on. So there are 4 basic line items that go into a simplified financial report. You have the opening balance. This is the amount. This amount should match the ending balance of the previous period. You have receipts and income. This amount should reflect all monies received during the month. You have expenses, which will be all monies that are paid out during the month, and you have an ending balance. This is the amount that is going to go forward to the next month. So now I'm going to show you examples of income for the administrative account are dues, tail twisting fines, donations from members. For the activities account, we have fundraising and donations. Examples of expenses for the administrative account are dues, journal contracts, meals, gifts for guest speaker, other costs related to running the club, and bank charges. For the activities account, you have direct costs of fundraisers, you have donations and charitable activities to other organizations, example, TEAL, American Cancer Society, and you also have bank charges. So now I'm going to show you a simple activities report. And one second. So you have the administrative account, I'm sorry. And this report is for August 2020, and you have a starting balance of $1,331.34. And this came from the prior month's closing. The club received the dues totaling $500. They also had tail twisting and happy dollar collections, which was $60. And they also had a club admin in-house raffle for $90. So the total income for the month was $650. When you add that to the beginning balance, I'm sorry, you have total income that the club could use during the month of $1,981.34. The club also had expenses, and this included rental of meeting space, meeting meals, donation to the district picnic, payment of awards, bank fees. Oh, actually,
me, but I think the slide
I'm
is
actually showing you. I'm actually showing the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
I was trying to get to you, but I couldn't.
Okay, thank you. So it's recommended that clubs prepare a budget at the beginning of each year, of each linistic year. So this is an example of what would be included. Member dues, which we all know that we have to pay, tail twisting, happy dollar. Then you have funds collected from members, and you have other receipts. Now, this could be broken down. If you want to have it more detailed, you can do so. And then you will have total receipts. Then expenditures, you can break it down into administrative and general, or you can just have one amount. But again, you know you have to pay dues, so you would include that in the budget. You can have subscription to Zoom meetings, since a lot of clubs are meeting on Zoom because of the pandemic. You can have supplies, you can have printing, postage, rental fee if you meeting at a location, or if you're having a function at a location. You can have bank charges, miscellaneous expenses, convention and conferences, awards, certificates, and plaques. And then you would add that up, and you will have your total expenditures. And hopefully you would budget it in such a way that you would have more receipts than expenditures, and you would have a balance at the end of the year, a projected balance at the end of the year. So now we go on to the report. So you have, this is the administrative account. You started with a balance of $1,331.34. You had dues, tail twisting, club admin, in-house raffle, a total was collected of $650. A total available to use was $1,981.34. And the expenses, rental of meeting space, meals, donation to the district picnic, payment of awards, bank fees, MD20 dues, LCI dues, and district dues. So the total expenses for the month of August was $1,068.42, leaving the club administrative account with an ending balance of $912.92. Now we go on to the activities account. And in this, we started with a balance of $1,541.64. We had income, we had a grab and go. And this money was turned in by the fundraising share of $600. We had a scholarship luncheon. The money was turned in by the fundraising share, and we had donation to scholarship, and this donation was made by Mary Maury and Sons. So we had a total income in the activities account of $2,350.50, leaving us with available funds of $3,891.64. The expenses were for scholarship payment, items for back to school, teal donation, donation to American Cancer Society, donations to shelter, and food for the church pantry. Now in the activities report, you see in the comments column who the money was received from or who the money was paid to. So you had total expenses of $2,504.22, leaving the activities account with a balance of $1,387.42. So this is basically the simplest format that you can use to present to your club on a monthly basis. Now, this report that you're looking at is the same report that was presented before, except that it is more detailed. It is showing you who the money was received from, who the money was paid to, and what the balance was. And with this report, it can be done on one spreadsheet so that as you look at it, the total for each month is shown, or you can set it up on separate spreadsheets, one for each month. So that's another way that you could present the report. Especially if you're in a club where members want to know what is received. Some people may not want others to know what they paid or when they paid. So I would say that you reserve this type of report for the board of directors meeting. This report is similar to what was presented before, except that in this report, you comparing what was received to what was budgeted. So at a glance, you can see what it is. So this is the same information that you saw before, except that you have an actual year to date. So anyone looking at it, they know immediately that the actual amount of dues received for the year at the end of August was $1,250. And the budgeted amount was $3,000. So there's a variance of $1,750, which we expect the members to pay. And the same format follows for the rest of the categories. And this report comes from the budget that you create. This format comes from the budget that you created originally. So as soon as possible, at the end of the month, the treasurer should prepare a bank reconciliation statement for presentation to the club. So this bank reconciliation is actually showing 2 months, the reconciliation for July and the reconciliation for August. So in August, we had a book balance of $1,331.34. Everything that was received was deposited, but we do have an outstanding check of $215. So that amount gets added back to the book balance. So that brings us in line with the bank balance as of the end of July. When we go to August, we see we have a book balance of $912.92, which is the ending balance. We have deposits in transit of $300, and this is all cash. In this instance, we're making this, it's a hypothetical situation, but they received checks and cash. But something happened, so the treasurer was unable to deposit the cash. But because the treasurer received prior permission from the club, the treasurer was actually able to do a mobile deposit. So the checks were deposited, but the treasurer still has to deposit the cash. And that's why we see the cash as being outstanding. And we also, so we have to reduce the book balance by the cash that's outstanding. And we have outstanding checks of totaling $450, which is going to be added back to the amount. So we balance with the bank balance of $1,062.92. So this is just a short presentation. Copies of the PowerPoint are available for anyone who wants it. And this format assumes that the treasurer is using an Excel spreadsheet or another spreadsheet to maintain the records. In instances where you have, let's say, a large club, where it might be too cumbersome to do it in Excel, it is recommended that the club purchase a financial software for the treasurer to use. And this ends my presentation. So I will now turn it over to Cabinet Treasurer Sonia Bennett. And she will be talking about making payments to District 20K1, MD20, and LCI.
Good evening, everyone. At the start of the line and stick year, clubs usually receive their bill from LCI, MD20, and also from District 20K1. For District 20K1, for this line and stick year, payments of your dues can be made in 3 different methods. The first is Zelle. In order to do your Zelle payments, you will have to, on your bank side, you set up the payee as District 20K1 and use the email lionsbennett@gmail.com. I know quite a few Lions having problems with the Zelle payment, but it's because the payee is not established. The payee has to be District 20K1 in order for the Zelle to be set up properly and work. The next payment method is the check, and checks can be mailed to my attention at my mailing address, which is on the screen. And the third payment is via credit card. And in order to do the credit card payment, you will, the treasurer or the person who is making the payment will need to contact me by my telephone number or text me, and then I'll get back to the person to process the payment. In order to make payments to MD20, Maria at MD20 office, she prefers for us to email a copy, take a copy of the check and email it to her at lionsmd20@gmail.com, or you can mail it. But to save stamp, paying her via email with a copy of the check is preferable. And what she does when you send the payment to her, she'll take here, she uses your bank account number here. It's on the screen. And she'll take the bank routing number from the check and your checking account and your check number. So once you use that check to pay your dues to MD20, you cannot use it to do anything else, because that your bank will already have that check shown as been used, which in this case, the check number is 1025. And to make payment to LCI, you have the option of paying online by credit card. You could use the e-check, which is similar to how you pay to MD20 or PayPal, or you could mail it at the address on the screen. In order to make the payments to LCI, you will first need a MyLion account, and once you log into MyLion's account, you click onto the tab that says statements. And after you click on statement, the screen will open up and you click on the button that marks make a payment, and you could use your credit or debit card to make the payment. And it is suggested that at the start of each Lionistic year that you create a membership invoice and email or mail to each member. And the invoice should have the person's name, the Lion's name, the date. To keep track of it, you could assign an account number or numbered invoice and have a description showing how much to be paid. In this example here, we have a breakdown. This club charges $150 for their Lionistic year, and the breakdown of that dues, how it's allocated: $43 goes to LCI, $20 goes to MD20, and the district dues is $3 for a total of $84, right? And the difference between $150 and $84, the club will keep. Your payment to your club, in this case, the name of the Lions Club is ABC Lions Club. So check our money order should be made payable to ABC Lions Club, and the treasurer in this case is Lion James. So you would mail the check to Lion James. For additional information on how to proceed as the treasurer of your club, the resources, a list of resources is included here. You have the club treasurer ebook, best practices for financial transparency, My Lions Learning Center, or the Lions University, using the club finances.
That's the end of our brief presentation. So we will now open the floor for questions. Lion Iris, do you have any questions in the chat room?
Okay, so I want to thank you. That was a great presentation, great PowerPoint, much information that is there. Okay, so at this time, we're going to open the floor for any questions that you might have so we can answer it. Okay, does anyone have any questions? I see that in the chat, says, can you explain the tax filing for clubs? Wow, that's a good one. Lion James, he is from Lawton Lions Club. Okay. Would Ray Boy Stennett want to take that one? No. Any of the committee members would like to take that? Okay, so I will take that. Okay, so the before we answer that question, okay, I just want to say that being a treasurer is a big responsibility. Okay, as you know, money is the root of all evil. So you have to make sure that you have financial transparency in what you do. Okay, you have to give a report minimum one time per month to the membership of your club. With that report, you could also attach to the president, to the executive committee, your bank statement for proof. Okay, we want to make sure that that what's in the bank is reported. So this way, there is no doubt in no one's mind, in anyone's mind, that you are misfunding or mishandling the funds. Okay, so now let's talk about taxes. So if your club, it's a 501c3, and you have a federal number, okay, then you are required to file a 990, okay, your tax forms once a year, okay? Now, I know that now for, I think it was November 15th, you needed to file to send in a filing, okay? But sometimes when you get a federal number, the number that you get is for banking purposes only, okay? So if you get it for banking purposes only, then you actually don't need to do filing because you got it just to open up a bank account. But, and I repeat, if you have a federal number and you have a 501c3, which is in order for you to get a tax deduction, okay, you need to report all income and all expenses. You fill up a 990 EZ. I believe that now is up to the EZ is up to $150,000. So it's very simple to do, and you have to make sure that you have it correct, because you don't want to get the number, a tax exempt number is very hard, and because of technicalities of doing taxes, you do not want to lose the status. Okay, so if you have any other questions on that, please feel free to let me know. What if you are an LLC? Okay, so a limited liability corporation is a corporation just like any other corporation. And yes, if you have an LLC, means that you file for federal, for the state, and a federal number. Yes, you do have to file taxes, 100%. Okay, LLC stands for Limited Liability Corporation. Okay, anyone else have any questions? Questions? Don't listen, there are no bad questions here. They might be bad answers, there's no bad questions, okay? Sometimes the question that you are holding, someone else is holding it, and you bring it out to the air, and that person's gonna say, that was a great question. I had that. I was gonna say it before that person said it. So now it is your turn to ask a question. And I would like the committee members to assist in answering any questions that we may have.
And also, PDG Ardsley, if I may add, this is Lion Tracy,
Yes.
along with the LLC, on that form, when you file, and you also need to stipulate whether you're an E corporation or a C corporation. So you also have that you may need to add when you're filing a LLC taxes. Thank you.
Someone has their hands up? Okay, yes.
This is Lion Pearl from Fireside Lions Club.
Good evening.
Good evening. My question, if your club is not a 501c or an LLC, does LCI have, since we are under the umbrella of LCI, is there a tax exempt number from LCI that we can use for tax exempt purposes?
No, definitely
Okay.
not. Definitely not. Lions Clubs International does not provide a federal number, a tax exempt number. Each club is independent to themselves. Okay?
Okay.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Lion Beverly Thomas has her hands up.
Please. You may unmute.
Mute. Oh, hi. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lion Beverly from Winthrop Lions Club.
Good evening.
Good evening. My question is that the first line that spoke on the layout of the financial paying the dues. Who can I get the layout from so I could understand it better?
Lion Jeffries, take over.
Yes, the district will mail a copy of the PowerPoint presentation next week.
Okay.
We'll email.
Well,
Yes.
email.
Email. Okay, because I learn by hearing and seeing also. That gives me a clearer picture. So
Right.
I would like to have a copy of that.
You know,
We'll get that out to you.
since we're talking about this, okay, and we do have some time, let us not forget there is a format. There is a format.
Right.
So-
That's what I was
so-
actually asking about the format.
Okay, so it's very simple, very simple. The format is very simple. Okay, so whether it be income or expenses, you work it out, whatever you income or expense, but the first line item should always be Lions Clubs International, the international. The second line item should be the multiple. And the third line item should be the district. The fourth line item should be the club. Okay? So if there is any payments or income or expenses for any one of those line items, then they go first. But if there is nothing at all, then you'll continue with whatever expenses you have of your club. Okay, don't forget the service charges of any bank should always be at the bottom. Okay, that's always the last one that is there. Very simple, but this is in the PowerPoint presentation, which will be emailed to you. Okay.
Okay.
You know that as that was going on, just want to remind everyone that the bills from LCI, the state, and the district, is no longer being mailed by conventional United States Post Office. Everything now is emailed. So please, if you're receiving email, don't discard it. That is the official way of communications nowadays. So it has to, you have to make sure you take note, you print it out, and you send it as it was specified earlier in the PowerPoint presentation.
To add to that, PDG Ozzy, to let everyone know that with LCI, as long as you have an account, you don't have to wait for an invoice. You can go in and download the invoice. If you have an My Lions account, they also will email you to let you know that an electronic version of the invoice is available. The second invoice is actually on the LCI website right now, and they did email a copy. They did send an email to notify me that it's online. So I just want everybody to be aware of that. One of the issues that we encountered while we were making phone calls to clubs is that some people are saying that they do not receive invoices from the MD20. If you have not received the first half of the invoice, the first half of the year's invoice, which was sent out in July, I think it was towards the end of July, you should contact Maria Paulson, and that information will be available when you get the PowerPoint presentation. And so far, I have not received a copy of a bill for the second half, but it should be coming out sometime this month, so we should all be aware of that.
So there is a question. There is a question on the
There's-
chat.
Yeah, there's two.
We too.
There's three of them.
Okay, so the
There's three
first one.
questions.
Okay, so Ray Boy, take the first one about the bank fees.
The first one I saw was how can you get a 501c3 for your club? Want me to answer that?
I can answer that.
Okay, go ahead.
So I want to let you know that a 501c3 is not easy to get.
Yeah.
If it was easy to get, then everyone would have one. Okay? So how do you get a 501c3? I have done many 501c3s, including for the multiple, the district. So basically, you need to do a corporation. You have to identify what is the name that you want, and you get the corporation. After you get the corporation, you file for a 501c3 which is a tax-exempt corporation. There is a whole packet, and I believe that nowadays when you file this, you have to send a fee. Now, I think nowadays there's a fee. Back in the days, there was no fees. Now, everything changes, so you will have to look into that. So there is information, and they're going to ask you, what is your mission statement and what is the purpose of this corporation? So as you know, whatever any 501c3 that we will do has to do for humanitarian purposes. As you know, Lions Clubs International, to help the district, to help the communities, to help abroad in other countries. Okay, so those basically are the purpose and the mission statement, and you tweak it as you need to. You know what I'm saying? The other day, I did one for an organization that they collect funds to send to the Dominican Republic. Okay, so this way, they can send whatever they have, things like that. Okay, now all this has to be sent and approved by Internal Revenue Service. Okay, once it is approved and sent, when it's approved by Internal Revenue Service, then they're going to give you a tax-exempt number. You have to be very careful with this tax-exempt number because there are requirements that you need, and you have to be very careful. You have to make sure that everything is, you document everything. You have to make sure that, what is the income, where did you receive the income, what was the expenses, and everything should match. And of course, like I said earlier, once everything's approved and everything is going as it should go, you have to give a treasury report, okay? Sometimes many organizations, many times we go to a function and they say, what club do I belong to? So, and then they'll emphasize Inc. I don't know if you remember, you remember this stuff. What that means is that they are incorporated, they're a 501c3. So when you are like that and you have many multiple bank accounts, one for the corporation and one for the Lions Clubs, then in turn, you have to give reports for every one of those. Okay?
Next question.
Go ahead, you can take that one. I want the bank fee.
Okay.
I want to take the one after the bank fee.
One of the bank fee?
No, go ahead. What's the bank fee?
It's like bank fee. That's bank fee. It says, can you deduct bank fees from your income tax when you file your income tax?
100%. Bank fees are 100% deductible. Return check fees are deductible. Bad check fees are deductible. Any fees that has to be derived from the bank, it is deductible. Okay. Now, the next one, I want to answer the next one because this next one, I don't want no one. I want to identify this one. So this is a great question, and when I saw it, I just started laughing. Let me find it. So let me find it. Okay, here. So Lions, there is a question, and I want to be respectful in saying the question and answering it. So the question reads like this. If the treasurer is stealing the money, it says how, but the question is who do we report to? You have to be, I said this earlier, money is the root of all evil. The treasurer has a big responsibility, and you also need financial transparency. I said it earlier, okay? You don't want to create doubt in anyone's mind that you are misappropriating any funds. There is when I give this workshop, I always give a scenario. There was a lion that for many years was asked to be to be on the executive committee. And he said no, because he was working. And this person was working because he was nearing the end of his career, work, and he was doing, that the last 5 years of your job is what you get from Social Security, and you always want to boost it up, okay? So this person was working. Now this person retired, and this person has plenty of time now, and he says, you know what? I will be the treasurer of my club. But wait a second. This person now, as you know, became a lion or became a treasurer July 1st. July 1st, now you're in summertime, and he was on vacation. And while he was working, he didn't have all the luxuries, but now he has time off. So he goes to the first meeting. He goes to the first meeting, and he has new clothing. Oh, Mr. Treasurer, how are you? Do you have a report? No, I don't have a report. I'll give it to you for the next meeting. The next month, he drives up in a brand new Mercedes-Benz convertible. Nice car. And he's like, wow, everybody's like, what a car, nice car. Mr. Treasurer, how are you? Welcome. Do you have a treasurer's report? No, I don't have a treasurer's report. See, now, because people are seeing that you have new clothing, you have a new car, that now you're using their money. That person worked, looks like you and I, and has their own funding. But because you didn't give a report and people are seeing certain things, then the imagination starts flowing. What's happening? What's happening? So this is what happens. You cannot allow people to think that way. There are 3 letters. You know that in Lions Clubs International, we always have a lot of acronyms. PDG, DG, CT, right? Correct? Well, I want to give you an acronym. CYA. Sorry, guys, I'm going to say it. Cover your ass. You have to make sure that all funding that you have gets reported to the membership, so there will be no doubt in anyone's mind that what's yours is yours and what you administer for the club belongs to the club. Does that answer that question? So let's say, for instance, now the treasurer is misappropriating the funds. Who do we report to? Well, that's why you have an executive committee. Don't forget that everything that you do, the treasurer may get the money, but has to report it to the secretary. The secretary, in turn, puts it in the minutes. So now you have to do an internal audit. You can get someone from your club. You can get an external, someone outside of Lions Clubs to do an audit to check to see if this is correct. Okay, I don't want to further, because we only have 10 minutes left, but I think that I touched upon it. If you personally have the person that asked the question, if you personally have a question, please, my number is in the directory. Please reach out to me, any one of the committee members, and any one of the committee members, and we will go further in depth with this situation. Any other questions we have here?
Yes,
Any other
I
committee
see-
member can help me?
I see line Sandra Fraser is asking, based on the prior information, I'm hearing that your club only has to file taxes if they have a 501c. Is that correct? Yes, it is, Lion Fraser. If they have a 501c, yes. That's the only time they file taxes. And then there's another question, but I'm not seeing all of it. There's something with purchasing journal ads contracts. I am not seeing the full question, and it's from Ernestine Harrison, and I think she's from Brooklyn, Central Brooklyn Lions Club, but I can't see all of it, PDG Ozzy.
If you like, I can read it to you.
Please.
Okay.
Okay. The question says, purchasing journal contracts for clubs that state for various charities should come from the activity or the administrative account.
Purchasing journal contracts for club that states for various charities should come from activity. Well, a journal contract is administration. That's paper.
Yeah.
That's administration. That has to do with the daily activities of the club. Has nothing to do with the activity.
But it says various charities. Charities could be other community charity organizations, but still it will come from the administration because we have to pay it. The activities is all the funds that we raise. So basically, yes, it is. It has to come from admin because it's going out to the community. Thank you so much for reading it for me.
Does that answer your question, Lion Ernestine?
No, I'm still kind of confused.
Why?
Because if for instance, if Brooklyn Central sent your club a journal contract,
okay,
and you're purchasing that contract, and you know that we're having this fundraiser, whereas all the money we get is going back to community services. So I don't
It should be the activity account because the funds that you bring in from the public is going back to the public. It's not to use for personal uses.
Correct.
So it would be the activity account.
No.
What's collected in the activity?
No. So let me clarify this.
Yeah.
There are two accounts. There's an activity account, okay, and there's an administrative account. The activity account goes that any funding that you may have or collect for an activity that is used and will be used for the purpose of giving out to the charities, to the organization, then that you don't pay contracts from there. You only pay what you pay for that activity. Okay. Now, let's say for instance, that the journal contract that, let's say you have to pay for that activity, you have to pay, location, food, things like that, then all that gets paid from that activity, okay? But if you are paying a journal contract for another club, okay, that comes from your administration account, no doubt about it.
Oh, well, we can't take no more, we can't buy no more ads.
No, activity is only activity.
Only for the community, what we give back to the community.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I have seen that you have an activity and they say that 20% of the activities, the net proceed of the activity goes into the administrative account, has to be in the bylaws, then that goes to the administrative to add into the club fees, but the journal contract gets paid from the administrative account.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome.
And PDG and to fellow lines, it is important when we always allocate incorrectly for our journal ads to other clubs every year. We always go over a limit. We always underestimate exactly because we not only have other clubs, we also have other organizations that we support outside of lines that come to us for journal ads. And so I think most clubs underestimate or under budget the annual, what they have allocated for journal ads. I just wanted to put that there because I know it happens a lot. Thank you.
And if I may add, you can actually do a fundraiser within specifically for the administrative account, but it has to specify that it cannot be for monies raised from the public. It has to be within the club, and you can use that towards your contracts and stuff like that.
That's correct. I see that Sandy Frazier has her hand up. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, PDG Azzy. I asked my question already.
Okie doke. Happy to see you.
Hi, Nazi.
Yes, who's
This
asking?
is Line Christine.
Hi, Christine.
How are you? Good evening.
I'm fine. Happy New Year. You
Same
didn't
to
go
you.
over foundation. I don't know if that's part of it or not because a lot of Lions clubs now have foundations. So how do you handle that?
Wow, a foundation is very special. A foundation, okay, is just like a 501c3, okay? It will be a 501c4, so 501c5, okay? So, but regardless, it's all the same. You have to file taxes because when you have a foundation, it has to be approved by the federal and the state. You get a number, and that number you have to maintain it, and you have to file taxes every year. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have any questions? Like I said, I invite you for our midwinter convention. We will have a treasury report. We will have a financial report. So if you have any questions, you can please join us at the midwinter. Okay. We also have another workshop that we do for June, okay, for the treasurers. So, if you have any questions or any time, my number, any one of the committee members are listed in the directory. We are here to assist, okay? We're here to assist and to make sure that everything goes smoothly. You know that as Lions, we join to do humanitarian service and give to others. But when they see that you can handle money and you can preside and you take good notes and you're there, they put you to work, okay? And you say yes. Okay, so if anyone has any other questions, okay?
One final question, one final comment.
Yes,
the
please.
secretaries do not get a directory, so they have to get your number from the secretary or the president. Secretaries don't get directories.
Very good. So you can
get directories.
Well, I'm going to give you my number. My number is 917-482-8575. You can call me at any time, and I'm here to assist.
Okay.
And if you can't get me, call PDG Melissa, and she'll try to locate me.
Lion Christine, the zone chairs were given directories for the secretary. Secretary do get.
No, the treasurers, I said. The treasurers don't get a directory.
Oh, you said secretary.
I did?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a treasurer, so I'm saying the treasurers. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, as you can see, we are concluding our fireside chats. I hope everyone enjoyed and got some information from this workshop. Okay, we're here to assist. District 20K1 always works with every single one of the clubs. It is our pleasure to make sure that we give our members the correct and appropriate information at the appropriate time when it's needed. Okay, that line that asked that question about the treasurer and they are, the monies are not being reported. Okay, please give me a call. I will talk to you. Do not take actions in your own hands, please. Okay, don't read between the lines. Just don't take action. We'll take action. Okay, thank you. Lion Iris, do we have to say anything else? Are we good?
I think someone raised their hand at the last minute. Lion Carlene Bryan. I'm not sure if she still has a question.
Please ask. Please ask.
Hi, good evening. I just
Good
wanted to
evening.
know if the directory was available electronically.
Lion Iris, anyone from the district? I don't believe so. I don't
It think so, but we can get it to you.
It was. No, it is, I should say.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I know
Okay.
someone who has it electronically.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Well, listen, nowadays you can Google and you can find anything you want. Okay? You can even find the 4 votes that the Republicans need. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Okay. You know, I want to say that Lions Clubs International is non-religious and non-political for that same reason. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyone else have any questions?
Yep. PDG Ozzy Torres, I wanted to introduce our District Governor, Line Ingrid Andrews Campbells, as she may want to say a few words before we end.
Yes, let's give her a round of applause. She's doing a fantastic job. Yes, please, Governor.
Good evening, my fellow Lions. Thank you, PDG Ozzy, and your team for this wonderful workshop. I was scanning to see all the treasurers who are having issues, and most of them are here. So I'm happy to know that they can get their question answered, and the information that you shared was vital. And I encourage them that I'm sure that you do an even greater in-depth workshop at our midwinter every year. So don't miss it. If you think there are questions or information that you didn't receive, please make sure you take in the finance workshop at our midwinter convention. I thank everyone for joining us this evening, taking time to join us, and I wish you all the best for 2023. Thank you, Lion Iris.
Thank you, District Governor. And over to you, PDG Ozzy, to sign off.
Well, once again, I want to thank everyone for being part of this Fireside Chat Financial Committee. Like I said, we're here to assist. If you have a question that you believe that you couldn't say it here, please, I gave out my number. Please feel free to contact me, and we will try to assist you as best as possible. District 20K1, we're here to assist, and let us not forget that we do the best work for the community. And as Lions, we serve. Thank you, and have a good night.
Thank you so much, everyone. Good evening.